Hi there, Nick from Korg here at NAMM 2018 at the Korg booth for Synthtopia. I'm here with the Korg Prologue 16, which is Korg's latest analog synth. It's a fully programmable polyphonic analog synthesizer, also available as Prologue 8. The 8 has 49 keys and 8 voices, whereas the 16 has 16 voices and 61 keys. It's got an all-new voiced filter, which is a 12 dB per octave cutoff slope, 2-pole analog resonant low-pass filter. And Synthtopia fans will be really excited to know that when I crank the resonance, I get a lot of power still out of the low end, just like on monologue, but there's also a very gentle polyphonic voicing to it, just like on mini-log. So it really is the best of both worlds for mini-log and monologue on Prologue. On top of that, there's the 2 VCOs per voice, just like mini-log, but there's a third oscillator per voice in the multi-engine, which is a groundbreaking new technology which adds 3 separate modes to a digital engine, including user programmability. And those 3 modes start with a noise mode, which includes all your standard noise waves that you'd find on any synthesizer, and also includes a digital noise, which you can bit crush using the shape knob. The second mode is a VPM, variable phase modulation, which has several different digital waveforms, some that you'll recognize from classic FM and phase distortion synths back from the 80s all the way through the 90s. And then of course some waveforms that we included that are totally unique and can create sounds that are really not possible on any other analog synthesizer. And then the third mode on the multi-engine is the user mode, which comes stock with a morphing wavetable oscillator, so you can get those really cool wavetable sounds, which are totally coming back right now. But the user engine is actually going to be editable and open source. So the way that's going to work is once Prologue is released, we're going to put out an SDK, and users who are a little bit coding inclined will be able to actually code their own oscillators. And users who like those oscillators but aren't really necessarily a coding aficionado will be able to maybe find a oscillator that somebody else coded and put it on their own Prologue. There's also going to be open source SDK available for the effects engine. Over here we have stereo 24-bit floating point DSP based modulation effects, which include a chorus, of course, with multiple types of chorus, phaser, flanger, and then an ensemble effect for fans of the classic Poly 6, and the Prologue definitely can do a really nice Poly 6 sound. The delay reverb engine, of course, has multiple modes, and those include stereo delays, multi-tap delays, and tape delay, which you can crank and self-oscillate. And of course, reverbs, which have everything all the way from halls to rooms to non-linear huge reverbs, not possible in regular acoustic spaces. And then of course you have voice modes similarly to the Korg Mini-Log, poly, monophonic, unison, and then the chord mode where you can select a chord and play just a huge chord on one key. And then a really cool feature of Prologue, which is all new, is multi-timbrality. So you have the ability to split 2 timbres or layer 2 timbres, or even crossfade from one timbre into the other across the key bed. And the way that works is you choose your first timbre, and then you use program fetch, and you hold that down and fetch a second program, select whether you'd like it to be a split or a layer, and then you can edit either the top sound, the bottom sound, or both at the same time. If you want to filter sweep both, you simply use the plus sign, and then you're editing both using the front panel at the same time. A couple other features include a voice spread knob, which is stereo spread of the voices like your classic 80s polysynths. And exclusively on Korg Prologue 16 is the LF Comp, which includes an extra analog gain stage and is a fully analog compressor designed for live play to rein in the dynamics of your low end and save your front of house engineer from spending extra time giving your bass sounds power while still retaining dynamics. So that's Prologue 16. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Nick at the Korg booth at NAMM 2018 for Synthtopia.